All right, let's get right into it. A few months ago, OpenAI's Sora was it, the undisputed king of AI video, a tool so powerful it felt like we were staring directly into the future of creation. But then, in a move that sent shockwaves through the entire tech world, OpenAI just pulled the plug. So today, we're going to unpack the spectacular, and I mean spectacular, collapse of what looked like AI's next sure thing.
Listen to this. This was the vision. When OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman announced Sora, this wasn't just some product launch. No, he was heralding a creative revolution, a Cambrian explosion. And you know what? The demos were absolutely mind-blowing. The potential felt infinite, and the hype was completely off the charts. This was supposed to be the ChatGPT for video.
And then, just like that, the explosion was over before it even really began. The grand vision, the industry-leading technology, the entire revolution, it all screeched to a halt. Access to the app would be gone by April, the API dead by September. It was finished.
And that, right there, is the billion-dollar question, isn't it? Think about it. This wasn't some little startup that ran out of cash. This was OpenAI's creative flagship, and it was backed by Disney, one of the biggest entertainment giants on the planet. So to really understand the why here, we have to look past those slick demos and start following the money, the math, and the deep strategic moves happening behind the scenes.
Okay, so first, let's just talk about the sheer speed of this collapse. Sora went from being the darling of the AI world to a historical footnote in what felt like the blink of an eye, and it left its partners and users absolutely stunned. Just look at this timeline. It's wild. From its very first preview to its death announcement, we're talking about 2 years, give or take. But from the public app launch to the shutdown, less than 7 months. A massive blockbuster Disney deal gets announced in December, and by April, it's completely dead. This wasn't some slow decline. This was a free fall.
And yeah, about that Disney deal, it was supposed to be the ultimate seal of approval for Sora. Disney was ready to pour $1 billion in and even lend its iconic characters to the platform. But here's the kicker, the really crucial part. That deal never actually closed. Not one single dollar of that $1 billion investment ever made it to OpenAI's bank account.
A big rug pull. That's how one source described it. And honestly, you can see why. Get this. Disney's team was reportedly in a meeting, a collaborative meeting about a Sora project, just 30 minutes before they found out that OpenAI was killing the entire platform. They were totally, completely blindsided. So what on earth could cause a company to make such a sudden, drastic U-turn? Well, the first big clue is in the brutal, cold, hard numbers. The economics of running Sora at scale were, to put it mildly, a total disaster.
$1 million. According to multiple reports, that's roughly how much money the Sora app was losing every single day, just to keep the lights on and keep those videos generating. It's just an insane burn rate.
And believe it or not, some estimates put the daily cost way, way higher. Forbes reported that the cost for inference alone, and that's just the computing power to run your props, not even to train the thing, could have been as high as a staggering $15 million a day.
So on one hand, you have these astronomical costs, and on the other, the users were disappearing fast. After an initial peak of about 1 million daily users, the numbers just cratered, dropping by more than half with no signs of bouncing back. It seems like the novelty was wearing off, and it was wearing off quick.
And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. This is from the head of the Sora project himself, Bill Peebles. He admitted it publicly. The math just didn't work. No company, not even a giant like OpenAI, can keep burning that kind of cash for a product that people are using less and less.
Okay, so burning cash is one thing, but shutting down your most famous, most hyped-up creative tool, that suggests there's something deeper going on here. The money was a huge problem for sure, but it was also a symptom of a much bigger, strategic choice being made inside OpenAI. Right, so this decision wasn't just about cutting their losses. It was a strategic pivot. It was a conscious choice to reallocate an incredibly scarce and valuable resource toward what OpenAI's leadership sees as its real core mission.
And that resource is compute. The simplest way to think about it is like this. Compute is the raw fuel of AI. It's the electricity, the processing power. There's only so much of it in the world, and every single major tech company is in a dogfight to get their hands on it. So where you decide to point your compute, well, that basically decides the future of your company. And this is how OpenAI's leadership actually framed it internally.
In a memo to employees, Sora was called a distracting side quest. Wow, a fascinating, technically brilliant, but ultimately distracting mission. It was just sucking up all that precious compute that they desperately needed somewhere else. So, where is all that compute going now? Well, it's going towards things that OpenAI believes have a real path to making money and lining up with its core goals. That means a brand new model, codenamed Spud, which is going to power enterprise and coding tools. It means a unified super app, and it means getting back to their long-term goals, robotics, and the big one, achieving artificial general intelligence, or AGI. You know, the fall of Sora isn't just an OpenAI story. It's really a flashing red warning light for the entire AI industry. It's signaling a major shift away from hype-driven demos and towards the much harsher realities of building a sustainable business. And this reckoning is happening because while OpenAI was burning billions on Sora's brute force approach, its competitors were finding much smarter ways to work. Take Google's Gemini 3. It basically proved you could get state-of-the-art results way more efficiently, even using their own custom hardware, instead of just relying on NVIDIA. That sent a shockwave through the industry. The message was clear. Brute force isn't the only way. Efficiency is the new king.
And this really gets us to the central debate happening in AI right now. Are we watching a real, genuine transformation, kind of like the build-out of the internet? Or is this whole thing a massive, debt-fueled trap waiting to spring? You know, for every good sign, like real companies actually using this stuff, there's a scary counterpoint, like the record-breaking $108 billion in debt big tech took on last year just to fund this expansion.
So, what's the ultimate takeaway from Sora's sudden death? I think it's a huge sign that the AI gold rush is entering a new, more mature, and frankly, a much more brutal phase. This quote just nails it. For the last couple of years, all you needed was a mind-blowing demo to declare yourself a leader. You could wow the world, raise billions, and worry about the business model later. Sora's collapse proves that era is officially over.
And that's the bottom line. The whole industry is growing up. It's moving beyond being just a technology showcase, and it's now being judged by the exact same rules as any other business. Can you create real, sustainable value? Can you make the math work? If you can't, it doesn't matter how realistic your AI-generated cat video is.
In the end, Sora really felt like AI's first too-big-to-fail moment. It had the tech, it had the hype, it had the world's biggest media partner ready to write a massive check. And it still failed. Its collapse is this stark, brutal reminder that in this incredibly expensive AI race, a vision without a viable business plan is just a hallucination. And the question that leaves all of us with is, who's actually building on solid ground? And who's next to get a reality check?